Oh man, this altcoin trade has made me over 5 figures. I'm going to share my exact trade here on Filecoin. Beautiful, beautiful trade. I shared this in my Telegram group. I'm going to break down exactly how did I take this trade and how this generated me 32.94% spot returns. All that plus we're going to break down Bitcoin because Bitcoin seems to be halting a little bit here as ETF flows start to slow down. Loads to break down today. Smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe. As always, check out the link in the description to our Telegram community, which if you were in that community a couple of days ago, I would have alerted you to the fact that we were getting a breakout from a descending channel here on Filecoin. You can see this is my descending channel. And guys, what I wanted to share here is this is not rocket science. A lot of people say trading is very, very difficult. It's not. If you follow the principles, if you have a strategy, if you control your emotions, it becomes very, very easy with time. And as you can see here, every single person watching this who has any interest in TA, even if you've taken my TA course or not, you will know that this is a descending channel. Most 10-year-olds could draw that trend line there to the downside. But what did we notice? We noticed there was an area of support. And so I didn't enter here on the breakout. I waited for a retest of the support. So if you look here, we get rejected by the support zone. We come down. We break through it. I wait on the retest. These are the areas I want to enter. I want to be entering in this range here because as you can see, this was my kind of squiggly line to say this is what I think is going to happen. As you can see, it happened a lot faster than we thought. A beautiful move through our TP1, straight through TP2 here, and boom, consolidated, broke out, and broke itself through to my TP3. A beautiful, beautiful textbook, 33% spot return. No need for leverage, no need for long, and you guys can do the maths. If you're trading with any serious sum of money here, you could be making some serious money without having to be a degen, without having to chase that next 1000x. I share all of that and a lot more in our Telegram community. Make sure you're in there. Now, let's have a chat about the ETF, right? We've been speaking about this ETF, how the flows of money have started to pick up here in the ETF, and that's created a lot of excitement into Bitcoin. But it started to stall, right? Yesterday, the top 10 spot ETF funds attracted only 500 Bitcoin. It's about $25 million, guys, on Wednesday. And now the market is starting to get a little bit worried. And I shared this with you guys. I said, guys, we're in a consolidation here. I shared a couple of days ago that we were forming this M pattern. Now, yesterday, we managed to avoid the M pattern. But what did I say? I said, guys, when we bounce, we got to get a higher high. If we don't get a high past 53, we're still curling over. This is still weakness, right? If you look, we had strength to go up here. Then we had strength to go up here. And then boom, we've shown a bit of weakness. And so what you're looking at now is potentially what is known as an inverse Adam and Eve pattern. This will be Adam. This will be your Eve. And if we touch the neckline again at this 51,000 and lose it, the price target I shared with you guys down to that 49,000 price target continues to be in play. Now, of course, I've shared ample times why this doesn't worry me. A pullback here towards 49,000 is not a big deal. Yes, the market will panic a little bit. They'll be like, oh my God, what's going on? The price is falling and some of this greed will start to come off. Perfect. That's what we need. We need some of that greed to come out, give us some opportunities to DCA, because the reality is, whether there's a couple of days where the ETF slows down or not is not a problem. Long run, we know what's happening. Money is flowing in, and it takes institutions time to flow money in. If you think some of those crazy days of ETF inflows we saw last week are just a kind of, a flash in a pan and they're going to disappear, you've got another thing coming. People right now, high net worth individuals, have still not been educated on the brilliance of Bitcoin or why they'd want to hold a small percentage of their portfolio. They don't need to be a long-term believer or huge, big proponent of Bitcoin where they're wearing a Bitcoin t-shirt or talking about crypto every single day like us. Just where they hold 1%, 2%, 5% of their portfolio in Bitcoin, just as a hedge, just as some insurance policy because they hold too much real estate. They got too much invested in the S&P. They've got too much invested in gold. What if they just wanted some in Bitcoin? And so when that starts to happen, I really have a strong conviction that we'll see a lot of strong inflows into the rest of 2024, 2025, and beyond. I think this will be the decade of Bitcoin when Bitcoin really creates its dominance and the mainstream really do start to kick in. So when we look at this price point and we see that on the 4-hourly chart here, we want to have a bit of a consolidation. Am I bothered? Absolutely not. Now, it's important that you do watch for the CMA ribbon. If we lose the CMA ribbon, That's again at the neckline. We start to threaten again this breakdown towards 49,000 to try pick up some support from there. If we zoom out to the daily chart, that's when you start to see the real area. And it's perfect. You couldn't draw a better technical pattern than this. This M pattern, which breaks down to a price target of 49,000, ties in perfectly with where the support comes in from the EMA ribbon. You couldn't write this stuff. Look at that point right there. It touches right at the EMA ribbon. And what do I always say? When you've had an extensive move to the upside, do not be surprised to see a call down into the EMA ribbon. That's perfectly fine. Try to hold some support and then move your way onwards. Now me, I don't buy here. I don't buy here. I get in the habit of buying here. I'm buying close to the EMA ribbon, into the EMA ribbon. When the FOMO runs out, when this is at neutral or fearful, that's when I want to be adding to my positions. Now, if you look right now, the traditional markets are really, really hot right now. The S&P just hit a record. The NASDAQ is having its best day in over a year after the NVIDIA earnings, which is having a huge impact on many of the AI cryptos as well. Things are looking decent out there. I mean, if you look at dollar index here, having a little bit of a downfall here, to the downside, not having the best of days here. But again, this is something for us to watch. All the stars are starting to align that we should be able to have a sustained move here on Bitcoin. The question is just going to be, does it want to pick up some support? Is it going to come down to 49,000? If it does, I'll be nibbling at those levels. If I zoom up one more, you now see the weekly chart. Right now you can see the weekly chart. You can see the weekly chart says, hang on, this price is super extended, right? We've not come down and tested the EMA ribbon for a very long time. When this original move started, if we go back to when we originally went above our weekly EMA ribbon all the way here in October 2023, we've not touched it. We've not come back down here to test the EMA ribbon. And I don't think we will. I mean, if we do want to come down all the way to 41, I'll be nibbling heavy. I'll be getting as much cash as I can into crypto, but I just don't think we will. I think a daily pullback is very, very possible. I think us coming into that EMA ribbon at that 49,000 level, even a bit deeper here into 47, 48 territory, I think that's very possible. That's where I want to be accumulating, not just on Bitcoin, but on some of my favorite altcoins as well. Now, again, guys, if you want to be taking trades like this Filecoin trade I shared with you, it's not rocket science. You too can learn this stuff. Jump into my Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. You can learn this. I've been doing this day in, day out. Day in, day out, you guys can learn this. It's nothing complicated. I'm sharing it here in front of you. It's a descending channel, right? Some people here online like to make out that crypto trading is this like super magical, crazy thing that's really difficult. Like, because they think it makes them look smart. Whereas I don't think it's that smart, right? You just do what you're supposed to do. Follow the chart pattern, have risk management, make sure you got a stop loss, make sure you got some take profit, make sure you're not risking more than you're willing to lose, and you trade, and you do that time and time again, and you build successful, sustainable profitability. Not the exciting thing you want to hear, right? Oh, take this trade and you're going to have a 1 million X on this altcoin. No, I just pick altcoins and I can sustainably pick these breakouts. And even as we're talking right now, this Filecoin is absolutely pumping. But guess what? Again, as a trader, you need to know when to get out. And I follow my take profits. I won't just keep sitting in this. I will feel FOMO. Of course I will. I mean, if you look at this right now, where this is going, I mean, take a look at the current peak profits we're seeing right now, 38%. But you got to manage your emotions. You got to manage psychology. And that is what investing in trading is all about. So there you have it, guys. There is an update on what's going on with my trading, plus the investing, and whether Bitcoin can sustain a pump or break down. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.